Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg, and I'm here from beautiful Las Vegas, the site of Canelo Con, this Saturday night at the T-Mobile Arena. And my guest, the champion of the world, one of the greats to ever do it, Lennox Lewis.
What's happening?
How are you, my friend?
I'm good.
And I feel like you're looking at me like, why do I know this guy? Do you remember?
Of course.
From what?
The car, me and Tyson.
There you go.
I
thought, because at first I was like, I don't even remember.
Of course.
It hasn't.
You know how I can remember? Just your whole vibe, man. That's what it was.
Vibes.
Yeah.
Vibe things. That's coming out soon, by the way.
Oh,
I'm seeing Mike tomorrow. But yeah, so Lennox did an episode of my podcast with Mike Tyson, which, as you can imagine, Lennox, I don't know if you're aware of this. I have a hunch you're somewhat aware of it. When you do business with Mike Tyson, there are inherently a lot of hands that just start appearing to jump in the pot.
Yeah.
And things get slow because even to this day, his name is attached to, like, when people see something that's happening, even if it's a podcast, that there's going to be large dollar amounts flying around. So
is that the tax man too?
Well, it's everything. Exactly. Now, you know what I saw? I saw a really funny Lennox Lewis headline the other day. I don't know where I was. I was browsing around, and it said, "You won't believe how much money Lennox Lewis has."
Wow.
Yeah, that was that. First of all, I thought, yes, I would.
Me too.
I would assume I'd believe it.
I mean, who knows?
But I mean, you've put out you've had a very nice life for yourself. Where do you spend? I asked you this in the Tyson podcast, but for a different audience here at Hot 97, where do you spend most of your time?
Well, it varies from Miami, Jamaica, Canada. I'm a citizen of the world.
But do you think that in some ways that was a negative for you when you were a fighter?
People try to make it out to be a negative. I thought it was a positive to be able to, go to different states in America and box different types of boxers, to go to Europe and learn the European style. I think that all those things added to me becoming a great fighter, because there's different things I learned on the way.
Where do you think people treated you most like it was home?
I would say England, and England's would be the most, because I was born in England, and British people really recognize people that are born in England.
And you spent a lot of time in Miami. You spent a lot of time in LA too, no?
Yeah, and Canada was the country that nurtured me.
Right. I mean, a lot of time there. The years where you really developed into the fighter you are was in Canada, and you fought for Team Canada, correct?
Yes. 2 Olympics for Canada, 84 and 88. And the reason I didn't turn pro in 84, that's because you got, the American team out there, Medrick Taylor, Pernell Whitaker, all great fighters coming from the 84 Olympics.
Now, a lot of people didn't realize how long you'd had a relationship with Mike Tyson, that you guys had dated all the way back to when you guys were teenagers, and you went to Catskill and spent time with him. Right. And you guys had a relatively friendly relationship from the time you were kids.
Yeah, we did. This all started from the 1983 World Championships in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, where I was representing Canada, and we went over there for a world tournament. And I beat the Americans, I beat the Cubans, and the American team said, well, you didn't box the best guy. And I said, who's the best guy? And they said it was Mike Tyson. I said, well, where is he? He said, well, he doesn't like taking planes. His manager doesn't like taking planes either. But if he would have been here, he would have won. So me and my trainer took it upon ourselves to drive up to the Catskills and meet Mike Tyson. Nice guy, took me in his room, showed me some old fight footage. Showed me the neighborhood, Catskills, no neighborhood.
Not much of a neighborhood to speak of.
There's some deer over there, there's some trees over there.
Very serene.
Yeah. So it was
different than if he showed you his other old neighborhood, for sure. Yeah.
I know, yeah. So he was nice. He was a nice guy. And
did you get to hang out with Cuss at all?
Yeah, ate around the same table with Cuss. You hear a whole bunch of stories. But it was nice. We went to the gym the next day, and he tried to beat the hell out of me. And I put on my Muhammad Ali routine and start dancing around the ring and doing what I do. And after the 4th day, it was definitely even between both of us. And there was one part where Mike Tyson actually put down his hands and said, hit me, try hitting me, because I wasn't standing in one spot and getting hit by him. So he was trying to lull me in So I hit him 2 times, and then Custom Auto shouted, "Mike, don't you do that. You're going to fight this guy someday." So, you know, I always waited to see if this was ever going to happen. Then he got incarcerated. And I said, "Oh, boy, is this going to happen?" So it did happen. I'm glad it did happen because, you know, before that, people were saying that he was the best and, oh, I was chicken to fight him. But
you had the barbershops talking trash. You had to answer that barbershop conversation.
You know the story. That's what it was. It was like, you know, when people go get their hair, there's all kinds of different subjects that come up, and that was definitely one of them.
Yeah, would Lennox Lewis actually beat Mike Tyson?
Right.
Besides that fight eventually that happened in 2002 in Memphis, what would you say? What are the crowning fights of your career? You had such an illustrious career, and I feel like you are one of those guys who maybe some people in the American boxing world didn't fully appreciate. Like, damn, Lennox was good until it was all over.
Well, you know what? It still ain't over. I'm still like fine wine. I get better with time.
So you coming back?
No,
you saying, Bernard Hopkins?
No. It's
the appreciation.
Yeah, the appreciation is coming back, and people are starting to realize, like, yo, look what this man's done. He's the last undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Look at Vladimir Klitschko. He's got like 70 fights and still hasn't been undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. So, you know, like I said, for somebody to come.
How long did you have? Were you undisputed? The undisputed heavyweight champ?
No, the fact that I retired undisputed.
Got it.
Yeah, is important. And
well, of course, I mean, it gets no better than that.
No, it gets no better.
But do you have one particular fight that you consider to be the crowning achievement up till then? I mean, you battled every one of your generation.
You know, for me, I think a good fight for me was Hasim Rahman fight. You know, the fact that he beat me, he really rekindled a flame that was dwindling inside of me. How
did Hasim Rahman beat you?
Let me tell you, he threw an unbelievable punch, which my chin happened to be in the way of. So, you know, I didn't know how that punch got past my gloves, but it did, and it did some damage, and it was coming from a distance, and it landed with such an amazing force that put me down on the canvas for a minute.
Let's talk about this weekend and the state of boxing in general. First of all, how excited are you, and how excited should people be for Canelo Khan?
I think it's an exciting fight to watch because you got 2 guys with different styles, and you got both guys. Well, especially Canelo, he's going to try and impose his will on Khan because he's got that power. He's a natural heavyweight. This is his weight class, basically. And Khan is saying, well, you know what? I'm coming up. I'm coming from England, and I can beat you. So he has to go out there and really show it. Khan's got fast hands, fast movement. The only thing that suspect is his chin. And, you know, I remember people used to say that about me after I lost. Oh, Lennox's chin suspect. You know, what I wanted to do is prove that my chin wasn't suspect anymore. So I'm sure Khan wants to do the same. Go out there and mix it up a little bit and prove that his chin's not suspect. I'm sure he's been learning in the gym from Virgil Hunter that, you know, keep your chin down.
What's the chance we'll ever see Canelo and Triple G? And if not that, what will we see from Triple G that, you know, what will be Triple G's really big payday as people really get excited about him right now?
I think, you know, Canelo is a big payday for him. Andre Ward is a big payday if he wants to move up. You know, no, I don't think anybody can beat Andre Ward right now. That man's unbelievable. You know, there's a lot of good fights out there for Canelo. There's a lot of good fights out there for Triple G, you know, but he's getting old and obviously wants to do it sooner than later. Yeah,
I mean, especially as he gets so famous right now. Absolute last thing I have to ask you. I have an ongoing argument with my co-host on ESPN Radio, Michael Kay, about the fame of George Steinbrenner. You grew up not in the United States. During the 80s, 90s, whatever, how famous would you say George Steinbrenner was? Give me your honest answer. What is your honest answer?
Tell me. How famous is he? He's got to be famous for you to bring him up. George, I know that name.
Thank you. That's all I need. That is all I need. Point proven from the great champion, Lennox Lewis. Hey, Lennox, have a fun weekend, and I'll see you again soon.
All right,
there he is. One of the greatest to ever do it, Lennox Lewis. Thanks, man.